Hey everyone, my name's Mohar, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be kicking off this video with all of you. Today we're going to be embarking on a journey filled with valuable insights and practical tips that are going to be game changers in your high school experience and beyond. So let's set the scene, shall we? High school, a roller coaster of emotions, challenges, and opportunities. From juggling academics to navigating social circles and everything in between. It's a whirlwind of experiences, and I can attest to that. But fear not, we've got your back. Today, we're tapping into the wisdom of some amazing high schoolers who have been through it all. They're sharing their secrets on how to handle stress like a pro, stay motivated even when Netflix is tempting you, and stay organized to tackle those academic pressures head on. And let's not forget about the importance of choosing the right classes and clubs to not only excel academically, but also find your passion and community. But wait, there's more. We're also shining a light on the importance of self-care, including the often overlooked but essential aspect of getting enough sleep. Because let's face it, a well-rested mind is a powerful one. Now here's the best part. These skills aren't just for high school. They're going to be secret weapons as you navigate the twists and turns of life beyond what you experience in high school and college. So sit back and get ready to soak in some wisdom that's going to set you up for success not just now, but for years to come.
Hey Daniel, can you tell me about your first week of high school?
Sure. My first week of high school was really nerve-wracking. When I first entered those doors, I was really nervous about what would happen my first day. I wondered who would my new teachers be, if I could make it to my classes on time, whether my friends would be in the same classes as me, and what clubs I should join. A lot of questions raced through my mind, and I wasn't really sure if I could answer all of them.
Can you give some tips to the rising ninth graders?
Absolutely. My first piece of advice is it's okay to be nervous. Everyone around you is going through the same thing and probably has the same questions as you, so it's perfectly fine to be nervous. My second piece of advice is schoolwork, along with preparing for exams and other after-school activities in your life, can be really overwhelming. So, prioritizing your tasks and managing your time can really help you. You can do this by making a to-do list or setting notifications on your phone so that you're always on top of things and you get them all done. My third piece of advice is finding your passion. You can try multiple things, but try to figure out what you really love doing and what you really want to keep continuing. Joining multiple clubs, sports, orchestras, or bands can be a really bad choice because of the work that follows behind it, along with the dedication. Finding what you truly love to do and devoting yourself to it can allow you to grow and enjoy it.
Thank you, Daniel.
No problem. Good luck, and I'm sure you'll do just fine.
Hi, my name is Christopher Moore. Now, I don't mean to scare you, but for me personally, the workload jumps up a fair amount from middle school to high school. But don't feel overwhelmed. I'm going to share with you what has really helped me through my first couple years of high school. And although it may seem rather obvious, it is definitely a resource taken for granted by most students. I'm going to share with you the benefits of attending class after hours and study halls. First, let me tell you what those are exactly. Essentially, after hours are any time that a teacher offers for students to visit them outside of their normal class time, whether that be for help, making up missed work, or even just a study environment. Most high schools offer some sort of system where students can visit classes once the school day ends. And a lot of teachers do not get off right as the last school bell rings and usually stay in their classroom to get a little bit of work done. I strongly recommend that you take advantage of these opportunities. If they have scheduled time slots for students to visit, you can just pop in at those given times. However, if they don't have specific time slots, try to approach them after class and ask if you could schedule a time to get assistance. Now, approaching your teachers may seem intimidating at first, but try to remember that pretty much all teachers want to see you do well in school. They go into this occupation to teach oncoming generations and to see them grow. It is more than just their job that compels them to teach you. And because of this, teachers almost always take pride in helping students who want to succeed. Now, in rare cases, there may be a teacher who just acts unnecessarily mean and sour, and maybe they've turned down your request for scheduling help time. In this case, you could simply just ask another student or teacher who's familiar with the topic and willing to help you. Now let's talk about study halls. You've probably heard about study halls before. They're basically times that the school schedules so that students can come in and do work, socialize, and even tutor. At Wild Lake, we have something called Saturday Study Hall. It happens near the end of every quarter. It includes a small meal while students can work on assignments and projects in the school library. There are tutors and teachers all around eagerly waiting to help any student in need. And not only is this a fun opportunity to see schoolmates outside of class, it most definitely benefits those who attend. Even if you feel like you don't really need the help, I encourage you to go anyways. You can use this time to study for exams, complete assignments, and work on projects, both for school and outside academics. There are also a great deal of benefits that come with showing up to both after hours and study halls. For one, you form very strong study habits, the ability to sit down and simply complete your work. These kinds of habits are essential to doing well in school, college, as well as your future, whatever it may be. Another benefit that I think you'll enjoy a lot is the free time you get from it. When you take the time to do your homework right after school, you have the entire rest of the day open to do whatever you want. For me personally, I believe I am most productive during the day rather than at home. So I know this, and I do my best to get as much work done in school and immediately after, so I can free up my agenda for the rest of the day. Another great reason, which is less brought up, is to build relationships with their teachers. Like I said before, teachers love to see a student who gives their very best in class. So when a teacher sees you going out of your way to build these healthy habits, it leaves a very positive impression of you to them. As you progress through high school, you'll learn the importance of building relationships between you and your teachers. When college applications roll around, it'll be a lot easier for you to find teachers who will give you a recommendation. It will also give the teachers a lot more to write about in their recommendation. Now, this may be a lot to digest. So, as you first get into high school, don't feel pressured to try all these things at once, but start simple. Try it once and see if it helps you at all. Attend after hours for your harder classes if they're available, and do your best to get to school study halls as they come up. Remember that while success may come to you by yourself, often it is much easier to perform with the support of others. Asking for assistance is in no way, shape, or form embarrassing. So do what you feel is best for you. Go above and beyond to be the best student that you want to be, and I know you'll go far. Well, that's all I have for you today. Best of luck in your journey through high school.
Do you or your friends have a hard time persevering? Or are you guys in a situation that makes you feel like you want to give up? If so, don't worry because I have some solutions that can help you out. I'm going to start off with something that most people have probably heard about. Growth mindset quotes. Here are a few examples. I was born to learn. I don't give up easily. I can learn anything. I can't do it yet, but I'll keep trying. I am brave enough to try. I can do hard things. When I don't succeed right away, I keep going. Learning is my superpower. While there are people who find these quotes uplifting and motivational, I understand that there are people who think the opposite. Luckily for you guys, I have some alternate solutions that you could consider. First, let's consider the fake it till you make it method. That method is where you fake a positive or confident attitude. Although it may sound a bit ridiculous, it's actually not. And many people have benefited from it or realized that they can achieve something or believe in themselves more. Second, let's think about the burnt toast theory. The burnt toast theory's name originates from a hypothetical situation of you burning toast, making you 10 minutes late to work. But those 10 minutes might have actually saved you from getting into a car crash. As can be inferred from the hypothetical, we might not be able to control setbacks and inconveniences, but we can reframe the way that we think about them and appreciate them. We can apply the burnt toast theory to so many things, like making a mistake in a test allowed you to bond with someone and become good friends with them, or making a dent in the wall allowed you to discover other problems early on. Third and lastly, let's talk about the self-fulfilling prophecy. A self-fulfilling prophecy can be described as thinking or expecting that something will happen, and then subconsciously changing your behaviors to actually cause what you thought to become true. An example of this is thinking that you're going to fail a test, but then thinking that makes you perform worse. It might be difficult, but try to think about situations more optimistically, since it might make your performances better. Like before you do a test, think about how you're going to do well in it, and you might actually do well. If those solutions don't work for you, just remember there are people who love you for who you are, and nothing is impossible to accomplish, and the only person stopping you is yourself. Little things that bring you joy can get you through difficult times. Your story is just beginning. Be the one to write a happy ending.
Let me start with the story. Imagine a 14-year-old curly-haired freshman entering high school, filled with excitement and anxiety. They are bombarded with images of high school life from movies, TV shows, and social media, parties, popularity, and proms. But as they step into the corridors, they realize that reality doesn't always align with these depictions. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my TAC Talk. Today, I want to take you on a journey through the hallways, classrooms, and social dynamics of high school. But let's take a closer look beyond the cliches and stereotypes. Today, I invite you to explore the reality of high school. High school is often portrayed in movies and TV shows as a place of either endless parties and popularity or a nightmarish landscape of bullying and despair. But the truth is far more nuanced. It's a place of experiences, emotions, and challenges that shape us in profound ways. The coolest thing in high school is the amount of diversity. There are so many different clubs and so many people that are interested in these clubs. You will be met with people who have the exact same interests that you do and people who don't like anything you like at all. You will make friends with people who have completely different backgrounds than you and who like different things than you, but they will be able to introduce you to things you never knew you would like. High school is a place for personal growth and self-discovery. It's a time for experimentation, mistakes, and pivotal moments that shape your trajectory in life. You will learn what you like and dislike, have a better idea of what you want to do for the rest of your life, have your first crush, and maybe even your first relationship. Something you don't want to do is compare yourself to others. A lot of people around you might seem like they have everything figured out, but that doesn't mean it is a problem if you don't. Next, let's dive into the complicated web of social dynamics. High school is a breeding ground for cliques, hierarchies, and societal norms. It's a constant dance of fitting in versus standing out, finding our tribe amidst the chaos of adolescence. But within the drama, friendships are forged, bonds are tested, and we learn invaluable lessons about empathy, loyalty, and authenticity. Now, it is true that you will most likely lose friends that you previously had, but you will also make a ton of new friends. And while it might be hard to fit in, you will eventually learn your way. You also need to learn to not care too much about what others think about you. Nobody knows you better than yourself, and you might be judged because you aren't in the popular group, or you just like things that most people don't. It's okay to not fit in, and it's good to find a group that will support you and not bring you down. Secondly, let's talk about the thing that everyone is waiting for, academic pressure. Yeah, we've all been there. Staring under a mountain of textbooks and stressing about exams. It's like a never-ending cycle of deadlines and cram sessions. High school is notorious for its relentless focus on grades, standardized tests, and college admissions. The pressure to excel can be overwhelming, leading to stress, anxiety, and burnout. But it's essential to remember that our worth extends beyond a GPA or test score. True learning comes from curiosity, creativity, and resilience in the face of setbacks. Just because you bombed a test doesn't mean you're going to fail a class or even get less than an A. It is about learning to bounce back and get the best study habits in order to get the best grade. And it is very possible that you will get a B or two, but that doesn't mean you aren't going to go to college. It just means that there is room for improvement. Or maybe not. B doesn't stand for bad. Just because you aren't able to know that Warren Harding was the 29th president doesn't mean you can't be successful in life. You will see kids who don't even study and get 100% on a test that you thought was impossible. But instead of thinking yourself as dumb, think about how you can get better. GPA isn't everything and doesn't define you. It is the way you respond to challenges that show your character. And you will feel pressure from your parents and peers to get straight A's and go to an amazing college, and it might feel like you disappoint them if you bring home anything other than an A. But as long as you try your best, then you should be proud of yourself and what you accomplish. Remember, you should do it because you want to do it, not to do it for somebody else. Finally, we can't forget about mental health. As mentioned before, high school can be a carrier for stress, anxiety, and depression. The pressure to fit in, succeed academically, and plan for the future can take a toll on our mental well-being. It's crucial to break the stigma surrounding mental health and seek support when needed. Remember, it's okay to not be okay. Having supportive friends and parents can go a long way for your mental health. You don't always have to be doing schoolwork. Make sure you do things outside of school that you want to do, such as hanging out with friends, playing a sport, or joining a club that interests you. All in all, high school is about diversity, the academic grind, social scenes, and personal growth. It's like a potluck of experiences, you know? Everyone brings something different to the table. Sometimes the pressure to ace everything feels like carrying a stack of textbooks, but we're all in this together. So as we try to rush through our high school days, let's cherish the memories, embrace the challenges, and remember that this crazy roller coaster ride is just the beginning of our journey.
Hello. In this video, I'm going to teach you 4 short tips to manage your time effectively. Schoolwork can get overwhelming, especially with harder classes and extracurriculars. To keep track, write everything in an agenda book. I know this sounds corny, but it seriously helps. Take a second after school to write down everything you need to do in priority order and an estimated time to do it. This helps you know what needs to be done and what time you need, rather than having everything in your head, which is scary. 2. Start things in small amounts. Oftentimes, a task can seem overwhelming, and you just want to play a game or scroll. When you feel this happening, set a timer for 1 or 2 minutes and tell yourself to work on something just for the time, or maybe do a short exercise. This short burst will often give you the motivation to continue. 3rd, work-life balance. Set a time in the day where you stop working on everything. No homework done past this point. Doing this will prevent you from doing things late at night and give you something to look forward to. Finally, set time limits for breaks. When you want a break, set a timer for 10, 15, or 20 minutes so that it doesn't become hours. Also, designate a place for work and play. This helps your brain get into the right mindset depending on your setting. If you sit at your desk, you know to work. If you sit at your bed, it's time to relax. That's all for now.
I typically get about 7 to 8 hours. In a school week, I typically get around 6 to 7 hours of sleep. I would say 5 to 7 is pretty normal for me, but sometimes I can get up to like 9, and then there'll be days like last night where I got 3. So. I'm pretty satisfied since I wake up pretty refreshed every morning and my energy can last for the entire day. No, not particularly. I'd prefer to get more sleep. For the most part, yes. I don't have many days where I come to school or go to like activities really tired. But I do definitely feel the effects when I don't get enough sleep. But usually I'm pretty good about it. I can run on 5 hours of sleep. It's not that bad. I think that's pretty reasonable, but considering the amount of homework we get every day, it might be a bit more difficult since occasionally there are times I have to stay up late just to cram an assignment. It really shocks me because I don't find myself being able to get that amount of sleep given the amount of schoolwork I have to work on every night, addition to sports and after school activities and having to wake up early. I mean, it's pretty normal for me to hear that because a lot of people tell me that because I definitely don't get that much sleep. But I do agree with the information. I do agree that on days where I do get 8 to 10 hours or even more than that, I'm really refreshed and I'm very energetic. However, I don't know how realistic getting that much sleep every night is for a typical high school or college student. We tend to have a lot of work to do at home, and I, for one, have after school sports that often last until like 7:30, and then I have to get home and do homework and take a shower and eat dinner and all this kind of stuff. And then I have to be up by 5:30 a.m. the next morning to go to school. So I try my best to get that much sleep, and I do agree that it is probably best to get that amount. But I feel like we also have to find a way to be able to function getting less than that, because it's just not all that possible for us to continuously get that right amount of sleep. The main factor preventing me from getting proper sleep is probably using my phone for too long. I say the main factor is getting home late and having to work on a lot of schoolwork, school and sports mostly. Getting a lot of homework at school and then doing sports after school till late, and then showering and then doing the homework that I received at school and then getting to sleep, but then having to wake up early the next morning to repeat it all. It's just not enough time to get, the full 8 to 10 hours. The main factor that helps me get proper sleep is knowing when to put my homework and my devices away, and then putting my head on the pillow and starting to actually rest. I'd say the main factor is me having to exercise during the day, so when I go to sleep, I find myself falling asleep very easily. Reading, actually. I know a lot of people always say to turn off your brain, about an hour before you go to sleep. But I find that reading really relaxes me, and just, helps me calm down and, get ready to, turn off my brain and go to bed. Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Just today in my class, my teacher yelled at one of the students for slouching and falling asleep at their desk. So it's a very common occurrence for students to not get enough sleep and then have that affect their, performance in school and their energy levels. But I also feel like it's going to be a problem that's kind of going to be difficult to solve because of all the after school activities and the homework and the course loads and just the life of the students. Making sure you don't procrastinate on assignments and setting a screen time for yourself. Finishing any workload ahead of time or as soon as possible when you get home, so you don't lead yourself into procrastination, allowing yourself to sleep earlier. A lot of stuff that we don't want to do, turning off our, electronics, not planning things for late at night, time management with coursework and, sports and stuff like that. But those are the main things, probably. Teachers and counselors can help educate students about the importance and benefits of sleep. I think if the school were to focus on workload during the day and not assign so many assignments for at-home work, it would greatly help teens get the sleep that they need. I think the best way to go about it would be to lower the amount of work we have to do at home. I know that's not always possible because some people are taking AP level courses, and that's a lot of coursework, and you can't cover all of that in class, and you do need to do some of it at home. But I do feel like if there was any way that teachers could reduce the amount of homework or make certain things optional instead of, required, that could definitely increase the amount of downtime students have at home, or it could increase the amount of time they have to sleep.
Welcome, rising high school freshmen and parents, to my TAC Talk, which is about choosing classes and clubs. It's a little overwhelming, but don't worry, we have all been there. Focus on core classes. These are essential subjects like English, math, science, and social studies that build a strong foundation. If you want to take advanced classes, you should likely take them in these subjects. Next, explore your interests. High school offers electives in various fields like art, music, drama or theater, and foreign languages. These not only help you in your school career, but can help you later on in life. The next thing is challenge yourself. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Taking a high-level course in a subject you've never tried is an amazing thing you can do. And in school, these are AP, GT, and honors classes. Talk to your teachers and counselors. They can help you create a course schedule that aligns with your goals and interests. Teachers will likely give you course recommendations, and counselors are able to put together a schedule that best fits you. Now we're moving on to clubs. So you can make friends in clubs, and it's an amazing way to find your passions and make new friends. It's hard to branch out, but in clubs it's very easy. If you don't know what club to join, you can look through a club fair if your school has one, or the online directory to see what your school offers and what you might be interested in. Lastly, attend club meetings to see if the club is a good fit for you. It might be a little bit overwhelming, but don't worry, most clubs welcome newcomers. Before I go, I want to say embrace your high school journey. High school is a time to discover who you are and what you're passionate about. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone and try new things. Choosing classes and clubs is just the beginning. Get involved, participate in activities you love, and make the most out of your high school experience.
My name is Danielle Troy, and I'm currently a freshman in high school. In fact, I'm also part of my school's badminton team. I'm a flautist, pianist, a writer. The list could go on. But the point is not to showcase a bunch of activities I do. Rather, I wanted to emphasize a topic that is relevant in today's generation: stress. To put it simply, stress is the feeling of tension or worry that you might feel. And it could possibly lead to more serious mental illnesses like anxiety, depression, or even substance abuse. Stress can originate from small instances, like forgetting to bring homework, or bigger situations like preparing for college applications. In this very short video, I want to help you gain a realistic perspective of stress, and most importantly, discover tips to help manage that stress. Now, it's not a surprise that balancing so many extracurricular activities with academics, family, and mental health is difficult. Despite this overwhelming lifestyle, it's also expected that you'll be able to handle the increasing academic rigor and pressure as you get older. So, how can you realistically visualize your situation at this moment? Well, I like to remember a quote that my history teacher told me. It's not as bad as it seems, nor it's not as good as it seems. For example, college applications are not as bad as they seem because they are just one step in your life. On the other hand, winning a competition may not be as good as it seems because there's always room for improvement. So a tip that applies to everyone when it comes to dealing with stress is to simply maintain a realistic perspective. And you can do this by asking yourself questions like, how will this event affect me in the long run? Or how important is this in my entire life? It's also important to identify the cause of stress. Is it because of urgency or significance? Imagine you have an essay that you have not started that is due tomorrow. Do you feel stressed? You probably do. And this essay is not going to affect you when you go to college or get a job, so it's not because of significance that is making you feel stressed. Rather, it's because you don't have time. It's the urgency that you feel. You won't have enough time to make a quality essay to get a good grade. Now that you have identified the cause of stress, it's easier to find methods to help alleviate the stress you feel. The methods that work for each person can vary because we all have different preferences. Listening to music might help one person, while doing meditation might help another. No matter your age or where you live, stress is inevitable. It's not something that you can prevent. So try to be honest with yourself and share your experience with others. And if there's anything that you should take from this video, it's to maintain a realistic perspective, identify the cause of stress, and work towards a better mental health each day by taking small steps. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Abby, and I'm one of HC Drug Free's college instructors for the life skill classes that just wrapped up this past spring. I grew up in Howard County and now go to college in Richmond, Virginia. Thank you so much for coming to our TAC Talks teen listening session. As a recap, we heard from our Teen Advisory Council about the transition from middle to high school, utilization of school resources, motivation and perseverance, the fact versus fiction of high school, time management tips, stress management, advice on choosing classes and clubs, and getting enough sleep. These skills are important not just in the transition from middle to high school, but also from high school to college and beyond in the real adult world. The earlier you start practicing these healthy habits, the more prepared you'll be for the real world. Something that is really applicable to me in my life is practicing time management skills. One tip from the video that I really like to use is breaking my larger tasks into smaller things to get done and using a timer when I do these tasks or when I decide to take breaks. Another rule of thumb I like to use is the 2-minute rule. If the task I need to get done will take me 2 minutes or less to complete, I just go ahead and do it instead of pushing it off till later. This really helps with the procrastination of smaller tasks like making my bed or sending an email. Thank you to our Teen Advisory Council for all of this great advice, and I hope everyone was able to learn something new.
Mm.